it came off my take. I said it on the radio, so obviously I'll say it here, but I just don't like it came off as really weird and forced. And like he was trying to play a role he was assigned when he did that celebration by himself. And then I got in a discussion with who was it? Somebody else on one of the things. I'm like, why is this coming up again? And I was like, well, somebody else brought it up first off, but like I don't know. It's not the worst problem in the world for sure, but he does come off to me that he's like really trying hard to play a specific role, and it feels forced sometimes. And I felt that a couple of times during that bowl game.
Yeah.
Like I said, is it a huge problem? I don't know. Probably not. Might it dissipate? For sure. But
is he an 18-year-old, is he a freshman? Like maybe it's just growing up. I will say this, Jack, and again, I still have not even seen this. So I in a way, I don't want to because my first take was like, oh, who cares? He was celebrating, but I haven't watched
That's
it.
That's what Jordan says.
Yeah. I guess I really can't totally chime in, though. Husker Frame, you says celebration felt forced and phony. D'Lo, as my kids say, it was cringe. So,
he agrees with me. What the hell?
Yeah, you guys are in agreement on this.
Well, he say it.
So, oh my God, he admitted it. So
I can never get that line right.
So, obviously, I take in a lot of Dallas Cowboys content, and one of the things that they talked about this year, especially early when things weren't going their way, was like Micah Parsons and how he talks like he thinks a leader should talk. And a lot of the Cowboys beat writers were like, why is he acting this way? He doesn't need to act this way. He should stop acting this way. Like, just be a player. Connor says high risk, by the way. Just play on the field, and then who cares? You don't have to act like a leader. Your play will do the talking. And I do wonder, Jack, if he feels that he feels like I am the quarterback. I have to act a very particular way. And so that would be my guess, is if you are reading it correctly, if everyone in here is reading it correctly, that would be my guess. The other thing I would say, he is 19, as Robbie said, he's like 19. Maybe he hasn't figured out who he is yet. I do think that there is something to that. Maybe he's just a 19-year-old idiot, No offense, Dylan. No offense.
No, it struck me super weird at the moment. I don't mean to bring it up constantly. People keep asking about it. That's I'm not bringing it up constantly.
I think it's because you and I haven't talked about it on the pod.
So
that's why.
Right. So and then there are some people who get mad that you bring it up, and then there are some people that want to hear about it. And it came off to me really weird. I don't think it's a huge concern. I'm not worried about what it is. It just in the moment, it felt bizarre to me. That's all. All. And I hope he doesn't. If I had a concern about it, it's just that he's trying too hard to be sure that he comes off as something that isn't kind of naturally who he is. Right? That doesn't sound very fun. That doesn't sound like a great environment to be really good. Now, like somebody else said, he's young. I think there's a chance to. Another few, it just starts to become more natural. He's the youngest guy in the room, right? So that when you're the older guy in the room, you just kind of naturally grow into those things, right? And you do them as a leader more regularly. But I kind of get it. But I wanted to see the entire team doing that, not one dude,
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, Matt says this is interesting. He says, upset about how a 19-year-old celebrated is such an old take. And then D'Lo says, am not proud of myself, but can't help it. That's interesting that he's frustrated. He's frustrated that he's frustrated by it.
It's not how he celebrated. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is about how he celebrated, but it's not I don't know. It's not about over celebration even. It's more about awkward celebration.
Yeah. And you were someone with the slide thing, right? That he got up. You didn't like that too, that he got up and got in the guy's face?
I thought it felt forced.
Yeah.
I thought it felt like he had to do that. Mm-hmm. That was my immediate.
Oh, no. D'Lo. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people, of course, compare him to Mahomes. What about this? Dylan Raiola has Russell Wilson vibes. You do not want to be compared to Russell Wilson. That ain't good. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson, Jack, huge dork. Everything about that guy is forced. Everything. You don't want to be forced like that or a dork like that.
I'm like D'Lo. I'm sorry. I don't wish I didn't feel this way. Mm-hmm. I got that feeling twice during that game.
Yeah. See, it's so funny. I didn't care. Now, again, I've not watched the I've not watched the celebration. I didn't care about the getting up and talking trash thing. But you know what, Jack? I would say this, and I think Mitch Sherman was the first person I heard bring this up after the game, that like it is now his team. And so you wonder if it was a little bit of, it's my team now. I have to act like a player does in this situation.